Good morning.
Goeiemôre.
And good morning to a turmoil start for 2026. It was an up and down year so far, and we're only in January. So, yeah, we had a lot of different issues in the country already. And, yeah, it's day 29 of the first year.
Yeah,
So,
sad things that happened with the landslides.
landslips, evacuations last night as well, all over. But, yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
What are we talking about this morning?
Today we're talking about what success really means after immigration. Before immigration, I think most of us define success financially, but after immigration, that certainly changes.
Financially, like the big car, the big house.
You made it.
Not the big wife.
You made it financially, yeah.
Okay.
And after immigration, that definitely changes.
Things change. Things change a lot. So after immigration, what does success look like? And you got to think about it for yourself as well and make up your mind if we are right or if we are wrong. Please pop us any questions and suggestions and shout out if we missed something. So what do you think success look like?
I think success can be defined by many things. How you integrate it into New Zealand. Or do you have friends? Have you actually been able to make a sustainable living for yourself in a different country?
Yep. That's a big thing. That's actually a big thing. And it's not about making $10 million a month or whatever. It's having enough money to survive.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't survive because it's their own fault.
Yeah.
They do a few stupid mistakes. Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of other different stuff can make your life a life for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all about money. I think in New Zealand specifically, there are so many things that can add to a very good life, and it doesn't cost you a lot of money. So this is more about how you were able to integrate into the country, and if you are really happy, how you made yourself happy and made New Zealand feel like, okay, this is home.
The big thing that I see success as in New Zealand, except the financial side, because that's in the area that I work.
Yeah.
I think any father or mother that takes their children to the garden gate and can leave them there and they can walk on their own to school, that is the beginning part of success.
Yeah.
They're safe. And I'm just talking about kids now. There's a ton of other stories that I can tell you regarding that.
And there's a lot of things. It's a mindset thing as well, where you're successful to be able to change yourself as to the point where you are now feeling like New Zealand is your home.
Where you adapt to the society.
Yeah. Or do you still refer to home and back home all the time? Or is New Zealand now your home?
And that takes a time. And a lot of people that I hear and talk to about, they say that about their second year, then suddenly the bulb goes on that home is not there across the sea anymore.
Yeah.
It's here where you make it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was that very first day I got on the plane, I was going home.
Yeah.
I was going to New Zealand. So.
And the thing is, it's not always easy because you have to keep to your values and your own identity. Even if you're learning new systems and learning a new culture and new humor, you still have to stay authentic to yourself.
And the other thing is, you can't stay so authentic that you're not going to learn this new culture and new humor and everything else. You have to learn this in order to adapt.
Yeah. And immigration changes you.
Yeah.
It does. And it's actually so nice if you sit back after a few years and you look back at who you were when you came here. Still that mind thing about, I have to have so much money. I have to live in this beautiful house, have the
must-haves.
Yeah. The biggest and the most expensive car.
And sometimes you feel that people won't accept you for who you are if that is not what you have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's one of those things. And in New Zealand society, you can get You can't get by without having the grandest car. You can't get by without living in the smartest house. You can't get by without having a ton of credit card debt. Because that is what South Africans think. They must live on debt. I don't know why.
And I think if you go and sit down and you think about the things that we are talking about this morning, and you always thought, I didn't make it, I wasn't successful in my immigration story. And you just go through the points, you'll actually see in the end that actually you were successful.
And if you can open your fridge this morning and there is food in there, you're a success story.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can see your kids are happy this morning and they look forward to going to school. I know most kids, they're not going to school today. Sorry about that. when they go to school and they're happy, you made a success. Success is not always money.
Yeah.
It's more than just money. Yes, money does play a role here.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that this morning. No.
So socially and within the community, how would you define success?
I would think if you can walk into your house tonight after work and you can say hi to your neighbor and your neighbor says hi back.
Yeah.
They don't hate you.
Yeah.
And you say hi to the other neighbor and he hates you a bit. That's probably successful.
Yeah. I think it's probably to the point where you are comfortable in starting a conversation with someone. And
that takes time. Unfortunately,
it does.
Some people have got the gift of the gap. We were talking about that yesterday. Somebody, one of the advisors went to Ireland to kiss the Blarney Stone. So you know what all that's. And so I asked him, is he talking easier now? He says, no, not yet. So, but the big thing is some people just can run their mouths. It is like that. And
walk into a room and just start conversation.
And sometimes those type of people is not giving you the best conversation of your life. But if you can walk into a room and have a conversation with somebody and it's meaningful.
Yes.
You don't have to tell them how bad life is for you or how good life is for you. Just a meaningful conversation.
Just a conversation. Yeah. I think that in itself is already success, because it is hard when you come from a different country. You kind of feel a little bit isolated and you kind of a little bit scared a little bit of speaking with your Afrikaans accent.
They let you feel a bit isolated.
Yeah.
It's a fact that the Kiwis are different people. They sometimes like to, I don't know if it's just their culture that they, how can I say, a bit holding back.
They are very
if that is reserved, that's a nice word, reserved. Yeah.
But I mean, then look for a different culture in
wait, there's more. Okay. Once you've broken the barrier, once you've broken the barrier with that specific Kiwi, the conversations that can flow out of there is normally very good.
Yes.
If it's the right person. You also get Kiwis that saying a lot, meaning
which
nothing.
Goes for every culture.
But I've spoken to a few of them and I had deep, meaningful conversations which made me feel better at the end of the day. Because that is what conversation is all about.
Yeah.
So you've got to feel better after the conversation, except if you're in a fight.
Yeah.
And then you just got to say sorry if it's the wife.
And I think if you were able to make yourself some friends in your new country, that is success.
And I don't care if it's Kiwi friends or South African friends.
Doesn't matter.
You need to start building your group, your people.
Because let's face it, when you're small, when you're little, it's easy to make friends, or it's easier to make friends. But the older that you get, the harder it gets. Because you're kind of more reserved and you guard yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, because at 5 years old, you just go and say, let's go and play. And everybody's with you.
So it gets harder.
You say that at 30, they think you're weird.
So even if you were able to make one friend, that is already success.
And if you can, that day, I also think success, let's talk about financially. I just want to touch a bit of financial.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the most expensive car, but if you can buy your car either cash or the day that you've paid off that car.
That's success.
That's success. You say, oh, I've done it.
Yeah.
And I've done it. And the same with when you buy your first house. And I know this is back to finances again. But now you've got your own castle. That's your castle for your family. Yeah. And this is where, even if you don't have a family or you're in the same sex relationship, it's still a significant day in your life. Yeah. It's still a significant day in your life. The day that you buy a house, you are building your own castle. This is your territory now, even if you come from whichever country in the world.
Yeah. And I mean, you know what it takes to buy your first house. You have to save up a lot of money. So if you made that,
you made it.
You made it.
You made it. And this is where the safety factor comes in for you're feeling safer in your own, in this new country, you're feeling safer in your own house, your family around, your kids, whatever you've got, they feel safer around you.
Yeah. And I think within your family, if you were able to help your kids integrate into the new society and into the new school system and learn how things work with an open mind, and kids tend to take things that you say very seriously. So be very careful what you say at home. Even if you doubt the school system, don't say it out loud, because you will make them negative. And that's all that they're going to talk about. They're just going to tell everybody, oh no, it's not the same as in South Africa, and we don't do as many work and whatever. In the meantime, they're actually doing what they're supposed to do, but you as a parent are projecting
you're seeing it different.
And you making them feel like the school system is not okay.
No, this is one.
So just be careful what you say to the kids.
The big thing about success, what success looks like, is I think the big factor afterwards is how you feel.
Yeah.
How you feel as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you sorted out the wife and you sorted out the kids and you sorted out the dog and the cat and all these things. How do you feel at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Are you integrating, or are you still struggling and hanging on and hoping for that ultimate, how can I say that, the ultimate unicorn that's not going to pop up? Because a lot of people hope for something which is not realistic.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to break down what you're hoping for into smaller parts and just begin from there and build up. Because if a lot of people walk into this country and think, oh, I'm going to be the CEO of this company, and they see the company's got 5 people. and that's it. And they have run a team of 200 people. I listen to all of these stories every day. And how bad is this country? And yes, I'm only a head of 5 people. Yeah, you got only 5 people to worry about.
Yeah.
That's success. You made it, my mate. You made it. Good for you. And you're getting a heck of a lot of money for that. So.
And for some people, I would say, if you were able to rebuild your professional identity, starting from below the level where you were when you left your own country.
And that's a good thing. I want to go back to a conversation I had yesterday. One guy saying to me, South Africa is disappointing sometimes because once you talk to them, they say they can do everything. But once you put them in the work,
they can't.
They can do everything a little bit.
Oh.
So those guys will say, yes, I can do this, this, and this. Yes, I can do this amount of that. They can't do the full spectrum. But we are, how can I say, we try to over-compromise and give more than what's actually needed from us. Because sometimes you only needed to do this amount. And we want to do this amount, but we don't do it very good. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
How is that success?
No. The fact is, once you, like you said, once you start below the level, start below the level and learn the levels and see what they expect of you, and then you go for the levels.
Yeah.
And once you actually know what the parameters is there, that's so much easier just to make a run for it.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people come here and then they had their own business, say, in South Africa. And then you get here and now you have to work for someone else, and you're probably going to start very low. So someone that's younger than you, doesn't have the amount of experience that you have, is going to be your boss.
Yeah.
But you will prove yourself within a year or two. And then that is a really good success story.
That old story from South Africa, consistency.
Yes.
Be consistent. Be there every day. You don't need to work 10 hours overtime every day.
Yeah.
The boss is not going to like that at the end of the day. So I say good morning to Benita. Benita saying good morning on our channel. So
yeah,
but it's and different stories for success for different people and different ways to measure that. But except the finance, you got to look at more than just the finance. I know some people only measure success at finance.
Yeah, that's not what life is about.
You are so successful, but you just don't understand it.
And I think in the workplace, when you get to a point where you know that people really trust you, to feel trustworthy to other people is a very good feeling. Yeah. And it will make other people see you in a different light because people talk. So just stay true to yourself and just push through. In the end, you will definitely benefit from everything that you're going through.
One thing people should remember, this is an island.
Yeah.
People talk like crazy.
It's small.
Yeah. Monica just saying a good place to start for younger people is learning the products and services of a company. It's always a good place to start.
Yeah.
Right there in the workforce, right at the face of the customer, probably getting the stuff done. So, and something else, sorry, just to step back to that. If you want to become the manager, the store manager, and you've never been the cashier, how would you know how that person reacts? Even if you just do that for a week.
Yeah.
Go and see what's the problems of that person. You cannot address those people's problems if you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the success, the way that you handle yourself around other people.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And I think if we go to look at what Vanita says, knowledge is more valuable than money.
And at the end of the day, the knowledge makes money.
That's true.
So
I think you just have to retrain your brain not to think about money all the time. And if you stop converting your New Zealand money to South African money, then you have already been very successful, because that is a very difficult thing to do.
It takes a mind shift. Let's be quite frank. It takes a mind shift.
Yeah.
Even 2-3 years down the line, I was thinking,
Sometimes.
yes, I would never pay 1,000 rand for this, and then it costs $100 here.
Yeah. Even just when you suddenly find yourself, you're talking about dollars and not about rands anymore, because I made the mistake so many times. I'd go somewhere and it's 6 rand, but it's actually $6. But now you're in it. It's kind of like it's normal now. That already shows you that you've kind of integrated a little bit.
Yeah. And the big thing is you need to integrate. You need to make a success of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are going to be unhappy. So, and unhappy means also you haven't been successful.
No, you can't be unhappy.
So,
it's the most terrible place
to be. I've got a whole list of stuff.
Yeah, I think if we're talking about successfully emotional and mentally, what success means, what it looks like after immigration is when you've accepted that you can be happy and grateful and still grieve and miss your family, and you don't have to give up the one to accept the other one. It's normal to grieve. And I mean, I've been here how many years, and still some days you really miss your family and you really wish that you could be with them, but it doesn't mean that you're not grateful that you're here. So don't think that you have to get rid of the one feeling and adapt the other one. It is possible to have both.
You can be happy and unhappy.
It doesn't make you unhappy when you miss someone. It is a mind thing, and it is difficult. It's really difficult. And some people can't get over that. So they kind of stay in that, I miss home and I miss my family, and they just can't get over that hurdle. Yeah. And that is what makes it really difficult.
And it stuffs around to the grey stuff between your ears sometimes.
Yeah. And the other thing is letting go of timelines and comparisons. Maybe you gave yourself a timeline when you immigrated and said, in 2 years' time, I want to buy a house, and now it's not possible.
That's an important timeline to have. Not only the house, I need to get my residence within this period of time. It's important to have these timelines, but I do hear what you say of comparisons, letting go of comparisons.
Yeah.
You can't compare.
And what people
what you
do,
had versus what you're having now.
Thing. So many people would, and I hate those conversations. In South Africa, we had a game farm and we had a river house.
My hair like this. No,
it's not South Africa anymore. So just get rid of what was and be grateful and thankful for what is, and try to make the best of that.
Yeah, it is. And sadly, some people never get over this.
Yeah.
Never get over this. And I actually feel for those people. But you have to adapt to the new country. You have to. Otherwise, you are going to be here inside. It's going to be not good.
Oh, you're going to be And then also another thing is managing the guilt, because you feel guilty. If you're a child and you move away from your parents, you're going to feel guilty. If your parents are moving away from your children, you're going to feel guilty.
I just want to say something about feeling guilty. You'll find suddenly that family members in South Africa now phones you. Now you become the cash cow now. Remember, it's not guilt. You can say no. I know people whose family they've basically never had any dealings with in South Africa now suddenly phones them every weekend and they need money for this and money for that. And these poor people just give.
Yeah.
And they are struggling this side as well.
I think that there's a misconception that now that you live in New Zealand, you earn dollars, you've got a lot of money.
We're all billionaires when we walk in.
You still have to make a life for yourself.
You got to do here first.
Yeah.
Those people got to look after themselves on their own.
I know, we all try and we all do what we can do, but you have to look after yourself first.
But it's just saying family back in South Africa moves on. It's important you move forward in New Zealand to make it your new home, especially moving forward in New Zealand. So it's always an interesting discussion when we talk about
and
these type of things.
Then another thing is immigrating. You become so resilient because so many things go wrong and so many things doesn't work out the way that you expected it to. But you just push through and you become so resilient that you can actually you should actually feel proud of yourself when you look back and you find how resilient you've actually become. It is something to be very proud of.
Yeah, and if you're listening here today and you haven't changed, you should think back and wonder why I haven't changed. Why haven't I grown a bit more? Because you're supposed to grow. This is your journey on earth. It's growing and learning and becoming more than what you are. And every time you got to be better yourself. I'm not just talking financially. I'm talking spiritually, emotionally, everything else you can think of. So
immigration, I think, is your life should feel balanced. When your life feels balanced, that is where you feel happy. Or for me, that is what. If you've got everything sorted out, even if it's not a lot, even you just make do with what you have, as long as you can feel like you've made it. You've made your life better in some
and as long as you feel happy.
As long as you feel happy. As long as you feel happy.
So that's rather important. Happiness overcomes a lot of difficulties, if I can say that. So
Vanita's saying we have different experiences when you immigrate. People who don't do this don't understand. And that is the other thing. What I found with myself, I never spoke to the people back home about my immigration story. Not that they asked.
Your journey,
they didn't ask.
And they never even asked it.
So I didn't feel like I wanted to tell them that. And something that's very sad to me now that I think of it, when people come to visit you in New Zealand, you are very proud of what you were able to do, that you were able to build a life for you here. And it is so beautiful. You want to show the people all the beautiful things. You don't want to brag. You just want to show them what your life in New Zealand looks like. And some people get here, family members, not with us, but with a lot of people that I know. They get here, you show them all the beautiful things. You want to take them out and they're just not interested. They have got something bad to say about everything that you show them, something negative about every little thing that's different from where they come from. And that makes you kind of, you don't want to show anymore. You don't want to share your story
you should
anymore.
Keep on sharing. What I think is, they've become so set in their ways. And somewhere inside of them, I think it could be that they are jealous.
I was just going to say, don't
I
you
think
that's what it is?
They are jealous. They do see. People, you can't be blind. You can't be that blind. They do see, it's beautiful, this area. But they're not willing to acknowledge it.
Yes.
It's as if they would acknowledge that they're wrong.
Yeah.
So they don't want to acknowledge this, and they don't want to go there because they're afraid to see
how
beautiful it is.
I don't know if this is a South African thing. I don't know, because you find it now that we've immigrated it between South Africans as well. You don't you don't want to see the sun shine on everyone. I don't know. People are sometimes very funny. If someone made it in whatever way, they made a success of something, there will always be those people that's going to look down at them or going to say nasty things about them. And just remember that you worked really hard to get where you are, even if you
and don't get discouraged.
No,
don't get discouraged,
because it's very easy to just go sit in your hookie then and say, okay, I'm done with this now. I don't want to do it anymore.
No. What I do, and I've got friends who's really made it, and we form a circle.
Yeah,
we form a circle. I'm so glad when one of my friends really makes it out there.
Yeah.
Really, that's the ultimate thing I could wish for anybody. Yeah. Even if they're just extremely happy. I'm not even talking financially. Let's say somebody else is extremely happy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
And other people will think, oh, that guy's crazy, or whatever the reason may be. Or they made it financially. They worked very, very hard. They worked extreme long hours, and eventually they made it.
Yeah.
And then people would come and say, no, this guy is a crook or something. You know how South Africans is.
Yeah.
So I rejoice for them.
Yes.
And that makes me happy.
Celebrate.
Yeah,
celebrate the small wins that everyone has, because it is so important. And we're supposed to be there for each other.
And that guy, when I hear one of my friends bought a house, I send a bottle of champagne. I will send them cookies or shit, anything, just to say, wow, you've done it. It's so important. Even if they owe it $1 million on the house,
and
that's
the thing
nothing.
that we most celebrate in New Zealand or in any country, I suppose, when you've immigrated, is when someone get their residence. It is like the biggest party when they get their citizenship, because it's a huge win.
Yeah.
It's a huge win.
The problem is, I'm going to read that over Nita now. The problem is, if you tell this to somebody in South Africa, I've just received my citizenship.
This is what?
Whatever. Yeah. For me, if you received your citizenship, wow, you've come so far. You in my eyes, you've made it. I don't care how much money you've got in the bank.
No.
In my eyes, you've made it. Once you get your residence, this is the first time that I think, wow, you've made it, because that's such a big step. And such a big step from going to being a person who's got no real home here to being somebody who's got the right to stay.
Yes.
And that is such a magnificent leap.
Yeah.
And then you've got to do the time to get permanent residence.
Yeah.
And sorry guys, I'm not an immigration advisor. Let's be quite frank about that. And thereafter you got to do some more time, and then you can become a citizen of this beautiful country. And that is another massive step. It is such a big leap, and sometimes I forget that I'm already into this process and been here for a while. And
why we celebrate that is, what that person has been through since the day that he decided to immigrate. The journey
it starts way off before you even buy the plane ticket.
It is hard. Yeah. It is hard. Benita's saying people back home don't realize the sacrifices we've made without family support and social circles. Yeah. That's very true. It is a very lonely journey at first, until you find your people. Yeah. It is a very lonely journey. You can't share it with people back home because they don't get it. They don't understand what you're going through.
And Ron Lauren is saying very true. What you're saying is a huge achievement for a lot of people. The one thing people sometimes forget about, these days, if you become a resident, if you become a permanent resident, it's not a cheap exercise, point one. So some people have to save a lot of money before they can even, they basically double the prices.
Yeah.
So that cost has gone up tremendously. It costs you a lot of money that you can have spent on something else. So now you're putting this money into your future. Because getting from resident to permanent resident to citizenship, that's your future, and your future for your partners, your future for your children.
And not even that, the money that it costs you, the citizenship, and not that
I call it an investment.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money, and you have to be very resilient to save up the money for your residence, because it is a lot of money. So I'm going to ask you one question just before we leave.
What's the time? Oh,
it's almost time. At what point did New Zealand start to feel like home for you?
I was the total opposite. I wanted to leave South Africa. I wanted to leave. I knew I had to leave just to be.
Yeah.
And once I've reached here, I think the time that we got our first rental, that was about 2 months. And the time that because in our first rental, there was always kids walking past. And I always thought they were going to be robbed or kidnapped. And once I realized that those kids can walk past, they are safe, I think that's when I felt that I belonged here totally.
Okay.
So that was very way back in the beginning. I said within the first 3 months, I was
for many people, like for me also, there is it's like a switch.
Yeah.
The one day you're still kind of on this side, and then it's like a switch just goes off, and it's like, this is home.
Yeah. And the one thing, although I switched over to New Zealand being my home very early in my journey, yes, I did have a lot of struggles. I struggled to understand the way that the Kiwis even talked. There's a lot of things that I still, for about 2 to 3 years down the line, so it wasn't an easy transition for me. For me, the transition came slow, yes, but I quickly adapted and decided this is where I wanted to be. So
Anita's saying when she found a good workplace, and that's when she started to feel settled. For me, I went back to South Africa after a year, a little bit less than a year, to visit my daughter with the birth of the second child. And in that time is when that mosque shooting took place. And when I woke up in the morning and I saw that on Facebook, and you let me know, that switch went off. And I immediately, it was so weird. I felt in myself, I want to be with my people. Yeah. And in my head then, my people was in New Zealand. So it was like a switch, and the people in New Zealand, I was feeling for them like it's my people. That's when that switch went off in my head.
Even with this, the problem with the people that died now at the Mount.
Yeah.
For me in South Africa, it would have just been, because dying in South Africa is such a normal thing. I wouldn't have had a lot of empathy, but I actually have so much empathy. I do wish we could have done more, but normal citizens weren't allowed anywhere near.
Yeah.
So
just feeling like the people in New Zealand, doesn't matter where they are, that they feel like they are our people.
Yeah.
Or they're my people.
Even if we struggle to understand them sometimes.
Even if we don't know them. If something happens in New Zealand, it is like it's affecting you as well. I think we've got that empathy for each other. Doesn't matter where you are in your journey. If you were able to get to New Zealand, you were already successful.
Yeah. And never stop growing. Never stop growing.
Yeah.
Learn. Educate yourself. Grow. And become a better person.
Yeah.
All right. That's us.
Okay.
Next week, same time, same place.
Yes. I just want to say something quickly, Darlene.
I thought you were going to do that.
Yeah, Darlene, I fixed the painting.
We had a complaint that the painting at the back wasn't.
It was crooked. I saw it, but I just couldn't do anything about it. But I did something about it.
So the painting has been fixed. All right, guys.
Bye.
See you home.